All right, all right, all right. What a night this is. Welcome to the cruise port. It's even nicer when it's not sprinkling, but God gave us a beautiful day. Christy's high school graduation at Port, your college graduation at Port. Today it didn't. Thank you, God. So before I begin my speech, Cindy and I think it's very important to thank some certain people. First of all, to all of you who have made a special effort to be here and have traveled so far, thank you so much. To Cindy's bridesmaids, Christy's bridesmaids who have flown in from all over the country, that's how I make them laugh. All over the country, we can't thank you enough. We love you, girls. And to all of you, every single one of you here, you're here tonight because you're our families and our closest friends, and Kristin and Duke's closest friends. And being able to celebrate with all of you is what will make a special memory for them that they'll cherish for a lifetime. I talked to the pastor after the wedding because I wasn't sure if that was a loud round of applause, if it was just my heart beating and Carrie's heart beating and Cindy's heart beating. And she said, that's the largest round of applause she's ever heard for a wedding. I said, well, is that because it's a small church? And she said, no, that's because of the two people getting married. But I say it's more than that. It's because those two people getting married and because all the love in this room for all of you, from all of you. So thank you so much. Cindy and I need to thank Carrie for hosting a wonderful rehearsal dinner last night and for all of the assistance that you've given to Kristin and Duke in preparing for this wedding. They couldn't have done it without you. But mostly I have to thank Kristin and Duke for planning every single detail of this wedding. From looking at over 100 ties, and that's no lie, before finding just the right one, to hand painting all the little seashells you found on your table, 200 of them. They worked together as a team. I don't know if you saw the pictures as you came in, or their prom picture in the little hutch as you go to the bathroom out there, but these two have always been a photogenic couple. But today, when I first saw Duke, I thought he was getting ready for a GQ photo shoot. And Kristy, well, Peanut, I've never seen you looking as lovely as you do tonight. You're amazing. Mom and I hope your wedding is everything you ever dreamed it would be. And finally, I'd like to thank all the people here, well-meaning, my friends and family, who gave me advice about this speech. I've had more advice about this speech the next 7 minutes than I have had about my marriage, which by my calculations has lasted 3 million times as long. So, the best advice I got was from my good friend Chuck, who said, you know what? It's the biggest day of your life. It's your daughter's wedding. Just do what you want to do. These two have a compelling story. I'm going to tell it. I hope it's interesting. Okay, well, for those of you who don't know us that well, this has been a very exciting year for Cindy and me. We have added 2 new male members to our family. One still wets his pants, and Kristy got the other one. But in my grandson Chase's defense, it only took him 9 months to join the family. It's taken Duke 17 years. Now, those of you who know Kristy well know she's a very extraordinary young woman. So I'm sure when you think of her, the first thing that comes to mind is not body art and piercings. But let me tell you, there was a time in her life when she was really into body art. In fact, before she had them removed, she had a half sleeve down her left forearm, a full sleeve down her right forearm, and a pretty good piece of body art on her face. Now, she created this herself with a permanent blue magic marker when she was 2 years old, okay? And I have the picture to prove it. Kristy knows the picture. I'll put it out by the guest book later on. Don't worry, Kristy, it's the picture where your clothes are on. Now, when Kristy was a little girl, she got her ears pierced in the normal place at the bottom. And then, at the end of her senior year, she decided she needed an additional piercing before she went to college. So she added another one, right here. Still there right now. Now, I was never really sure why she added it. All I could think of was, maybe she's trying to change her image before she goes to college. If that was her goal, it certainly worked. Because 2 years later, we were out to dinner with all of Christy's bridesmaids, who at that time were her roommates at the Colgate Inn, and her good friend, Kate Silver, confided in me that, you know, the first time I met Kristy and saw that earring, I thought Kristy was a badass. And I love to tell that story because it's the only time in my entire life I've ever heard the words Kristy and badass used in the same sentence. To me, Kristy will always be a sweet little 11-year-old girl with pigtails, ready to go into the 6th grade at a brand new school for the first time, a school where she didn't know many of the other students. Little did she know when she walked into Derryfield School that day, she'd be meeting her future husband and maid of honor, all on the first day of school. I mean, who does that? And I still remember exactly how the conversation went when she came home that day. How'd you like your new school, Kristy? Good. Well, how'd you like the other kids there? Well, Dad, there's a really cute boy in my class. Oh, yeah? What's his name? Duke. Duke? What is he, at college? No, Dad. Oh, you mean like the Duke, John Wayne? Who's he, Dad? No, Dad, his name is Duke Logan. And that's how it all began, God's honest truth. Now, I didn't think much of it at the time. A 6th grade crush, what else? But it seemed like every time Cindy and I would go to the school for any type of function, we'd run into this kid, Duke. Kristy got a part in the 6th grade play. Believe it or not, Duke was in the 6th grade play. Everyone was in the 6th grade play. There was only 40 kids in the class, that's all right. And guess what? 8th grade graduation, well, of course, he's in the same class. Duke was there. Now, when Kristy was in high school, she became the co-manager of the baseball team, along with her very good friend, Taylor Neer, who was Taylor Cross at the time. And Taylor's the wonderfully talented young woman who designed all the artwork for Kristy's invitations, the map over there, and right, in the program today. So anyways, I go to the first baseball game. Isn't this great? She knows I love baseball. I get to watch all the games. I go to the first game. Kristy's on the bench with Taylor keeping score. At the end of the first half inning, who waltzes in from center field? Duke. Now, when young Mr. Logan showed up at my door with a corsage in his hand to take my daughter to the junior prom, I had an idea that this was a lot more than a 6th grade crush. But the ironic thing is, if you ask Kristin and Duke, they'll swear up and down we're never officially going out until sophomore year in college. Now, I think that becomes a big surprise to all their high school classmates. Because when Kristin brought her yearbook home, there's a section in the middle called C in Superlatives. That's where the classmates vote on who's most likely to become president or become a professor or win a Nobel Prize. Kristin was a decent student. I could not find her name anywhere. And then the top of page 2 in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little picture of Mr. Duke down on one knee, holding Kristin's hand, looking up at her, with a caption underneath reading, "Most likely to marry after high school." Now that was 10 years ago. A lot's happened in between. They both went off to different colleges. Kristy to graduate school. I did a lot of moving back and forth to upstate New York, then to Boston, and finally for the last time to Somerville. You remember that? And then, finally, after 15 years, 21 months ago, Duke called us and said he would like to come up and meet with us. And he came up, and very confidently, he told us that he was going to propose to Kristin. And very graciously, he asked for our blessing. That was very sweet of you, Duke. So, what did Cindy and I say? We jumped at the chance right away. We said yes. Because let me tell this side of the room something about Duke Logan that these people already know, okay? Duke's the kind of guy you hope your daughter falls in love with. And we've been very fortunate with both of our children, because that's happened to both of them. We always liked Duke. He's been like a part of our family for the past 10 years. Kristin was head over heels for Duke, and he even had Scott's seal of approval. And for those of you who don't think that's important, you have no idea of the love and admiration that Kristin feels for her big brother. Duke knew. He spoke to Scott before he spoke to us. Now, I've read that a lot of women, when looking for a husband, look for a guy just like their dads. Not Kristin. Instead, she found a guy that was handsome, athletic, smart, easygoing, and who loved to travel just as much as she does. No guy whose idea of the perfect year is to spend 365 nights in his own bed would ever do for Kristin. And Kristin and Duke are both very close to their moms. They're similar in a lot of ways. They're both very close to their moms. They have great moms, and like their moms, they're kind, they're caring, they have a strong sense of the importance of family, and they love children. Now, Kristin loves children so much that she's chosen a career that gives her a chance to work with children every single day as a pediatric nurse practitioner, with children from all over the world whose backgrounds are much different than hers. Now, Duke, for the past 6 months, has proven himself to be quite an extraordinary uncle. He stood up for my grandson Chase in June when he was baptized. Now, on the very day he joins an Italian family, he already has one person who can look at him and say, Padrino, which is Godfather. Well, actually, he can't, because Chase doesn't speak Italian. He doesn't speak at all. He's only 6 months old. But let me close by saying this. Thank you for being such a kind audience. I know I've gone over my time. That's okay. I paid for everything. So, Kristin and Duke, I know I speak for Cindy and for Kerry when I tell you these 3 things that were very evident to your classmates 10 years ago. You two are made for each other. You are meant to be together. And we couldn't imagine either of you with anyone else. So everyone, would you please raise your glasses? I need to get my glass, I guess. Would you please raise your glasses in a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Duke Logan. Wait, I'm not done. May God bless you with a long marriage filled with health, happiness, love, and children. Salute.